Go.
The Beet Pullers by Mark Stoddard. Young Bishop John, he peered to see his bride of 20 years, asleep too near death's cold dank door, in silence and in fear. The darkness of her room was pierced by candles' single light. Through shadows' woes, John tried to weep, though not a tear was cried. In the wagon hitched outside, cold sons and daughters lay. He had to leave his Marguerite to tend those children's graves. Of these and other neighbors' souls, 'twas Bishop's work and chore to take their bodies on up north to find their final moor. His living son gave peaceful joy and clucked the horses on. Through Lehi's field, next to their home, the hearse cart rolled along. Over mountain's point, through wooded vale, into the land of death, stark influenza's mighty power had stolen mankind's breath. At cemetery's gate, bleak men took up the caisson's roll, and drummed and piped the final dirge to signal man's dark toll. John placed his load with deft respect into the deep dark graves. Then, Jake in hand, they bowed their heads and hugged and wept for grace. The empty wagon lurched on home. The horses knew the way. 'Twas 20 trips that trod up north, with fear of more today. My son, the bishop said with calm, our work is not yet done. The beet, Jake said to Pa and New, they'll rot inside the ground? That's right, my son. And if they do, the farm will soon be gone. Don't worry, Pa, I'll pull 'em all. I know we'll get 'em done. I'll be there, son. 'Tis work for man. We'll pull until we pull through. Horizon now of western sky turned to a reddish hue. So quietly they bumped along the dusty road, each sick and at heart to know the truth, they'd lose their farm beloved. We'll never quit, now would we, Pa? No, we can't, my son. The Savior's life was doing things. We'll do until we're done. He clasped his son's once tender hand, now hard from living toil. He smiled to see Jake's tousled hair blown round by windy roil. Across the vale and up the point they rumbled deep in thought. 'Twas nearly dark when they drew near to their own beet-filled plot. Along the way they'd pass cleared lands of friends nearby their field. A wagon heaped with beets appeared just o'er the second hill. Thin Saunders gave a shout of glee. We got her pulled and done. I'm glad for you, said Bishop John. I'm happy for your home. The Johnson wagon's heavy load came o'er the second hill, with wagons full of beets. Then came the Smiths, then Youngs and Steels, now Engleharts and Sanchez too, passed by with cheers and waves. We got the fields all pulled, they cried. That's good, was all he'd say. At twilight, John drew to a halt, his cart upon their field, unhitched his horses, combed them down, and gave a little meal. The boy was first to touch the soil. There ain't no beets I see, none over here and none are there, he cried upon his knees. Just then Seth Bolton's wagon train came across from John's south field. Our beets are gone, he gulped to Seth. What's happened to our yield? This here's the last, said Seth with smiles. Your friends have pulled your beets, then sold them all at quite a price. You needed some relief. Get home now, John. Get home now, brother John and Jake. The sun's gone from the sky, but your dear Marguerite's arose. The fever's passed her by. The bishop stood with furrowed brow. Please thank them one by one. You are beet pullers straight from God. The victory you have won. Large moon and stars shone bright that night as horses trotted home. 'Twas half as far, the burden light, for Jake and Bishop John.